Hey everyone, welcome. So today, we're going to dive into a story about a massive shift in how we can pay for things online. It's a story about a digital wall, a really clever team that figured out a way around it, and how that one little fix helped spark a huge upgrade for, well, the entire internet. Okay, let's get into it.
It all starts with this really simple but kind of frustrating question. In the real world, you can pay with the cash you have in your wallet, right? But online, and especially in the on-chain world, it's just not that simple. You might own a dozen different digital assets, but then you find you can't actually use any of them to buy the thing you want. So why is that?
So to really get it, we need to talk about something called the one-token problem. And this wasn't just some theoretical idea, it was a very real roadblock that developers were just slamming into when they tried to build smooth, easy-to-use apps.
So let's meet our heroes for today. Codatta. They built this awesome application, and they wanted their community to be able to pay with their own token, called XNY. But the payment system they were using, x402, well, it couldn't support it directly. Their users had the right money, but they just couldn't spend it. They were totally stuck.
And this really shows you the difference between that frustrating old way and the dream. The old way was basically a closed system. Apps could only really accept a couple of specific approved tokens, like USDC. And if you had anything else, well, you had to go to an exchange, swap your tokens, pay a fee, and then come back. It was slow, it was expensive, just a terrible experience for the user. The goal? Super simple. Let people pay with any token they already own, instantly.
But Codatta, they didn't give up. They did what all great builders do. They built their way out of the problem. They actually engineered this custom, open-source adapter that gave their X and Y token the special gasless powers it needed to work. It was a really clever workaround. And that workaround, well, it pointed to a much, much bigger need for everyone.
And that right there brings us to the turning point in our story. See, Codatta's struggle wasn't a one-off thing. The developers behind the main x402 protocol, they saw this friction and realized the whole system needed a serious upgrade. It was time for a universal unlock.
And here it is. This is the game changer. The system has now evolved. X402 supports pretty much any ERC20 token out there. This isn't just some small update. It's like they completely tore down that digital wall we were talking about. The gate is wide open, and it's open for everybody.
This new superpower even has a name. Token agnostic. And it's a really key concept. It just means the system doesn't care what kind of token you show up with anymore, whether it's USDT, DAI, or some niche community token like XNY. The payment rail just accepts it. So the burden isn't on you anymore to have the right token. The system now just works with what you have.
Okay, so you're probably wondering, that sounds great, but what about gas fees? That annoying network fee you usually have to pay for any transaction on chain. Well, the new X402 has a little bit of magic behind the scenes to make those pretty much disappear for you, the user. Let's break down how it works.
So from your point of view, it's dead simple. 4 steps. 1, you just click Pay. 2, some new extensions authorize that payment, no extra transaction needed. 3, and this is the magic part, a service in the background called a facilitator pays the gas fee for you. And 4, your payment is sent. All that complicated blockchain stuff, it just disappears.
So what does all this actually unlock? A universal payment system is cool for sure, but why does it really matter? Well, it turns out this opens up completely new frontiers for some of the most exciting stuff happening on the internet, like AI, gaming, and global business.
Think about AI agents. How can they be truly autonomous if they can't pay their own way? With a token-agnostic system, an AI can now do business using any token it happens to get its hands on, paying for things like cloud computing or data access, all without any complex swapping. What does that mean? It means lower costs, faster actions, and honestly way more powerful agents.
Or think about gaming, right? This lets developers build these incredible self-contained economies where their own in-game token is the currency for everything. Players can buy, sell, trade rare items, whatever, without ever having to leave the game to go buy some gas token like ETH. It just pulls you deeper into that virtual world, making it feel way more real.
And for any business trying to go global, this is an absolute game changer. By just automatically supporting tokens like USDT, which is huge in a lot of international markets, developers can instantly connect with a massive global user base. It just tears down this huge barrier, letting a tiny team offer their product in a new country just as easily as they do back home.
So look, this whole update isn't just another feature on a list. It's really an open invitation to every developer and builder out there. It's a new standard for how values should move on the internet.
You know, there's this quote from the team that just says it all perfectly. Stop gatekeeping your business to a single stablecoin. It's a direct challenge to that old, closed-off way of thinking. The whole philosophy now is about openness and choice, not telling people what they can and can't use.
And you know the best part? This isn't just some idea on a whiteboard. It's live right now on major networks like Base and Polygon. So for a team like Codatta, that custom adapter they had to build is totally obsolete now. Their problem is solved for everyone, right at the core level. The vision is to build this open, neutral payment rail where every single token is a first-class citizen.
And all of this leaves us with one last really big question to chew on. When paying for something online is as simple, as open, and as universal as sending an email, what new things suddenly become possible? What happens when payments finally become a native, totally invisible part of the internet itself?